Hello. Okay. Uh, right. Let me just quickly check if the sound levels are okay and everything. 1 second. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I feel like I'm really quiet. Let me turn myself up a little bit. Let's see. Is this better? Is this better? Not much, huh? Um, Fucking hell. I haven't done this for too long. But, well, now I'm getting distracted by my own voice. That's always nice. No. Fuck. Ooh. Okay. I'll just put up the gain a little bit. How is this? Does this sound better? A little bit. Okay. Let's. Okay. Let's see how loud. How loud is this thing? Let's see.
Mute. So it's not a problem of getting people to express themselves, but of providing little gaps of solitude and silence in which they might eventually find something to say. In ancient Greece, there was a philosopher named Chrysippus, Sisyphus's great-great-grandfather. In ancient Greece, there are two ways he is reported to have Sisyphus's great-great-grandfather. In ancient Greece, there are two ways he is reported to have Sisyphus's great-great-grandfather. In ancient Greece, there are two ways he is reported to have Sisyphus's great-great-grandfather. In ancient Greece, there are two ways he is reported to have Sisyphus's great-great-grandfather. In ancient Greece, there are two ways he is reported to have Sisyphus's great-great-grandfather. In ancient Greece, there are two ways he is reported to have
Okay. Are we good now? Okay. I think this is good enough. We'll keep it like that, and I'll see for next time how we can improve. Okay. Oh my god, it's blowfish. How are you? I haven't seen you. Hey, you can call me Fredo if you want to. Yeah, if you want to join, just call me on Discord and I'll send you the link for the Watch Together. Alright. Anyway, what we're doing today. No, we haven't. We have not. But I've been super busy, like, yeah, so that maybe has something to do with it. So, to introduce the thing we're doing today, a friend of mine sent me a video and told me I might find it interesting, so I thought, why not? Let's try. So, I haven't seen a second of the video yet. I thought I'll just... Oh, that's not good. I thought I'll just go in blind. And let's hope it works out. As I said, I'm a professional. Yeah, please appreciate my authority. Okay. And we've lost 2 viewers. Okay. Yeah. Again, blowfish, if you want to join, just send me a message in Discord, I guess. Okay, right. So I guess there's not much point in. Yeah, for sure. Okay. For sure. Where's Discord? There you are. Hello?
Hello there.
Oh my god. It's him, the real blowfish.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
How are you? Hello, mushroom lady. Okay, let me get you on stream first, okay? On screen.
He's him. He is him.
Yes.
Whether I like it or not.
Okay. Why don't you entertain chat for a little bit before until I get it right, okay?
Oh no.
Yes, thank
Oh
you.
no. No pressure.
Yes.
So today, class, we're talking about Magic the Gathering.
Oh my god.
That's right. Everybody get up. Nobody wants to hear about this.
I did it. Okay. You're on screen now. We're good.
Oh,
how are you?
I'm alive.
Oh, that's good. That's definitely a positive.
Most days.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm pretty happy about it most of the time.
That's
should we not watch together, like, buddy?
Oh, right. Maybe that would be good.
Should I be worried? No.
Who's
question mark?
I don't know. I am sometimes. To tell you the truth. Mushroom lady, are you the friend who sent me the video?
You copied the wrong link, sir.
I did not.
You did.
How?
Did you copy the link in the URL bar?
Yeah. Oh, is that wrong?
That is the incorrect link.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Copy the link from the top right of the room.
Yes, got it.
Aha.
Oh my god, it's her. Okay. Well, I hope you'll enjoy our reaction. Nice for you to be here.
So this is all your fault, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's all her fault.
Damn.
I don't know. Be mean
I will
to her.
I will blame and or thank accordingly.
Yeah. Why not? Well, she said it's a good video, so hopefully it is.
Okay.
The topic seems
That'd be
interesting. So, who knows?
Let's just throw ourselves in and see what happens.
Yeah, why don't we just get it fucking started? Oh wait, 1 second though. It's not on screen yet. Oh,
they don't need to watch. It's fine.
Yeah, right.
We'll watch it in silence and then describe it, and they'll take our word for it.
Before we start, do you want me to put your Twitch link on or on screen?
Sure, if you'd like. I haven't streamed in ages, but
I usually do it, but I didn't know if you still want to have that out there. So
I don't know. You can go see clips of me drunk. That's fun.
That's very fun. Okay.
I still watch those from time to time.
Man, your streams were really good.
They were wild.
They were. You should pick it back up.
I've been thinking about it. I got a pretty baller camera, so you can see my 4K blackout face.
Wait, I told you I'll be in the States in September, right?
Yes.
You should come visit me and do a IRL stream or whatever.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I could handle that. I would get us killed, Nero.
No, you wouldn't.
I would try.
Oh, well, that's that's concerning.
Oh, enthusiastically irresponsible.
Of course. All right, want to go into the video? Get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. It's muted for me, 1 sec.
Express themselves, but of providing. We're riddled with pointless talk, insane quantities of words and images. Stupidity's never blind or mute, so it's not a problem of getting people to express themselves, but of providing little gaps of solitude and silence in which they might eventually find something to say. In ancient Greece, there was a philosopher named Chrysippus, Sisyphus's great-great-grandfather. There are 2 ways he is reported to have died, and we only care about the second.
I'm confused a bit.
About what?
She put up a picture
something
of,
to say.
Get it?
In ancient Greece, there was a philosopher named Chrysippus.
Right here?
Sisyphus's.
Not actually, though. What does that mean?
I think it means that's not actually a bust of Chrysippus.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Like she couldn't find a picture of him, so she just picked a philosopher statue.
Okay, fair.
Or something that looked vaguely Greek.
Yeah. It does look vaguely Greek.
There are 2 ways he is reported to have died, and we only care about the second one. Apparently, he was strolling about until he saw a donkey eating some figs and he yelled, "Now give the donkey a pure wine to wash down the figs." He found this joke so damn funny that he laughed and laughed.
I like that.
What's this guy?
Thing. Huh?
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah. That's fun.
That's he went out like a baller. He laughed at his own jokes to death.
Yeah.
I want nothing more from life.
You've heard of him?
I've heard of that anecdote.
Yeah, it's a nice anecdote.
Right, he died laughing at his own joke. I don't know what better way to die.
That's a great way to go. Dying laughing in general seems great.
Yeah, but at my own amusement?
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. That's top tier. Like, I'm so funny, it killed me.
That's great.
That it just feeds my narcissism. It's like, yes.
Absolutely.
Laughed and laughed and then died from laughing too hard. That's the type of self-love I'm trying to have. Imagine being able to...
Exactly. We agree.
Yeah.
I like her so far. She seems good. Much better than High Top
video.
at least.
Oh my god.
We
had our own little High Top saga. That was...
Yeah, I reacted to his Wakanda Forever take, and it was just, as always, wacky as nothing, and I almost died at the end.
Oh no. You can't do that. I need to kill you with one of my jokes.
Exactly.
Truly amuse yourself to death. Oh wait, is this the perfect segue to introduce the book Amusing Ourselves to Death by Neil Postman, written in 1985 with a foreword written by his son Andrew Postman? Quote, "I am saying something far more serious than that we are being deprived of authentic information. I am saying we are losing our sense of what it means to be well-informed. Ignorance is always correctable, but what shall we do if we take ignorance to be knowledge?"
Her breathing will then cease.
Can you simplify that for me?
So it's one thing if someone's not informed of something, but if someone's misinformed, it's much easier, and it's much harder to correct that mistake. Right? It's a lot easier to fill a gap in knowledge than it is to convince somebody they're wrong.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I agree.
Like it's the primary danger of misinformation as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Because like if you hear something wrong and you're convinced of it, and then somebody tells you what is like measurable truth, but you're convinced otherwise, like you're living in 2 different realities at that point.
For sure.
And it becomes nigh impossible to actually have a conversation.
Yeah. Okay, I fuck with that. That's good.
And she will die of terminal bliss.
The books 1984 by George Orwell and Brave New World by Aldous Huxley are two famous books about mass oppression, but they describe...
Have you read either of those?
I've read both.
What's your take?
1984 is your standard like totalitarian dystopia using class to like segregate people and based on one level oppress themselves, and then when you have an outlier you can just beat them into submission. And Brave New World is, if I'm remembering correctly, it's the book where there's that drug soma and everybody just like drugs themselves out of any sort of cogent feeling or thought, and they just gotta zombie their way through life.
Okay, yeah, I think I've heard.
So you got a splash of both in current day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've read 1984 and I really liked it. I haven't read Brave New World.
I liked 1980. I liked both of them for story and message. But whereas something like Atlas Shrugged, I'm not too sold on the message of like laissez-faire anarcho-capitalism. But the story was really good. Like Atlas Shrugged is really entertaining as like a billionaire soap opera drama thing.
Yeah. Okay. I haven't heard of that book at all.
It's generally talked about in the same like grouping of literature that dystopian novels are.
Yeah. I just got done reading Animal Farm, and I really liked that.
Animal Farm's on my list. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, you should read it. I was mostly impressed by the storytelling, also the message, but it's just very efficient in setting up characters and setting up themes and everything. It's really good.
Yeah, Orwell's a really good writer.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Mushroom Lady, thank you for the ad read, but I think we're gonna watch it, right? That's what I usually do.
It seems polite.
Yeah.
I might talk shit
very
through
different
it, but...
types of...
Right.
In 1984, there's an authoritarian government that watches over everything you do. Everyone must wear the same clothes, attend the same morning ceremony, there's hardcore censorship, basically how Fox News thinks China still is. Then there's Brave New World, a society where people constantly pop soma, a pill that keeps them in a state of pleasure. They've come to love and accept the brainwashing that happens in the baby creation factories. And they have lots of orgies. While Orwell...
The thing is, right, 1984, while I think it speaks on some truths, it seems like over-exaggerated to me. But from her and your description, the whole thing with soma and everything, that rings really true to me.
It's a much more efficient form of oppression because it's like self-censorship and indulgence in vices. So like you keep like the hypersexualization she's talking about. There's like they teach children how to have sex really early. Just basically they breed coomers in baby factories. It's really weird.
Yeah. And just, shutting yourself off reality with a drug, like, I mean, I know some people who do that. I used to do that myself, right?
Yeah, big same. I definitely just distraction over inconvenience. Right?
Exactly.
1984 warns us about external oppression. Huxley's Brave New World warns us about getting so used to our oppression that we participate in it ourselves. Quote, what Orwell feared were those who would ban books. What Huxley feared was that there would be no reason to ban a book, for there would be no one who wanted to read one. Orwell feared the...
And that just seems so much more potent, right?
Right, because you don't... It's so much easier to object to overt censorship and totalitarianism than it is to kind of self-govern your way out of self-censorship.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're convinced what you're doing is good, then why would you ever stop?
Right. It's fine. I don't need to.
Mm.
Why would I ingest these like outward wrong ideas? There's no sense in me even entertaining the thought. It's fine. I'm gonna keep taking the drug. I'm gonna keep going to work. I'm gonna keep going to the orgies. Everything will be fine.
Exactly.
Who would deprive us of information. Huxley feared those who would give us so much that we would be reduced to passivity and egoism. Many people are self-aware of our declining attention span. As a kid, I used to be able to read and read without end. Even in high school, I could do my homework without distraction for at least a few hours, which made me an awful texter. I got lots of complaints about that. But now, within like half an hour of doing my work, I can feel my brain tingling to get a glimpse of my phone. If I'm not typing furiously in lectures to stimulate my brain, then I'm bored to death. Everyone knows it's because
Subway Surfer is a great meme. I don't know. I have ADD, and it was always really easy to me to like engage with a book or whatever as when I started doing it, right? But just the starting to read is the difficult part for me.
Right. And like once you're in it, you're good to go.
Yeah, I can read for like 5 hours on end, but yeah.
I'm definitely in a very similar spot she is. Like I could sit down and knock out a novel in like a week, but now like I read for like 10 minutes and I'm like, fuck. I don't know. It's like I could be doing anything else right now.
But
And I'm
is it
aware it's
because
because of like the immediate gratification of like YouTube shorts, and I could be watching a video and playing a game at the same time. Like I could be bombarding my brain with sensory inputs and not having a chance of a thought occurring, right? And it's much
Yeah.
more comfortable that way as opposed to like slowly ingesting a trickle of information and processing it as I'm ingesting it.
Yeah.
So far she seems pretty bang on.
Yeah. Mm. You mentioned YouTube Shorts. What's your take on it? I fucking hate them because they always get me.
But yeah, it's by design, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you don't like them because they work.
Yeah, but there's a feature you can turn them off for like 30 days now, which is nice.
That's a interesting courtesy.
Mm. I don't know why they did it, but I'm glad they did.
everyone knows it's because we're consuming short-form content now, whether it be 15-second TikToks or 250 character tweets by distractions like advertisements. But what if it goes deeper than that? Way deeper. Way deeper.
You know, when my hand's on your grease gun, that's very subtle,
It's
isn't
a
it?
metaphor, Brian.
It's just a bit weird.
Metaphors
Thank
are
you.
used all the time to help us understand one thing in the context of another. For example, God is a bearded man in the sky, family is a tree, time is a clock. Now, some people might question that last one. The clock is not a metaphor for time. Time really is minutes and seconds and hours. But is it? Before the clock was invented, no one thought of time in these mathematically precise chunks. Even now when we experience time, some hours seem to zip by and some never seem to end. But the clock has become so synonymous with
Yeah, I fucking hate that. Like being on your phone for like 3 hours and it seems like no time has passed and suddenly like your morning is over. I can't
Right.
stand
Well,
it.
when she's talking about things being like a metaphor being useful, like the bearded man in the sky thing, the clock metaphor, I think, is the time being a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And we just broke down a day into 24 hours and then broke those down into minutes.
Yeah.
So it's just for time management.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Wait, sorry, how do I make someone mod?
I might be able to do it. No, I cannot. I think you might have to do it in the. Dang it! It's been a minute since I've been on Twitch. Let's see. Ba-bam, ba-bam. Where is the creator dashboard, maybe?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
That's generally the panel I have up instead of, well, I've got like my stream up so I get that sweet singular view. You forgot the fault, Mushroom Lady. For shame.
Unbelievable. Oh wait, maybe
I
I'll be
can't
able to do it now.
make her a mod. Make her a mod. We need to kick her out. What are you doing?
I don't know how.
Get out of here.
View info? Nah. Okay, Mushroom Lady, I'll do it after the stream. As soon as I figure it out, okay? I'm too stupid right now.
I owe you one mod sword.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That people think the clock is time. Metaphors are supposed to just represent things, but in our minds, we can accidentally mess up and see the metaphor as the thing itself. This is why media is so powerful. Media is a metaphor for communication. The book is a metaphor for knowledge. Music can be a metaphor for beauty. But media is so pervasive in our lives that we often mistake media as the thing that's being communicated. Whenever we watch a movie about love, it's a mere metaphor for love, but people end up thinking love just is this character's relationship. When we watch the news, it's a metaphor for knowledge, but many people now think the news just is knowledge, or perhaps.
Is the news a metaphor for knowledge? I'm not sure if I agree with that.
I don't think I agree with the statement broadly.
Which is?
It's like I don't think I agree with the idea. I think it's just an avenue for knowledge. Well, it's an avenue for information.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to it.
Let her finish. Let her finish her point. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Even the truth. The dominant form of media in society shapes everything, how we communicate.
Perhaps even the truth. Yeah, I think that with that caveat, I don't know.
Each other, how we approach topics,
Wait,
and how.
Can you pause it again?
Quote, perhaps.
I'm just not sure if I agree with. Like, how is it a metaphor? Isn't it? I don't know.
I think it's just a venue.
Yeah. Well, it can be, right?
Yeah.
Well.
You are familiar with the old adage that says, to a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. We may extend that truism. To a person with a pencil, everything looks like a sentence. To a person with a TV camera, everything looks like an image. To a person with a computer, everything looks like data. A new medium is not just an upgraded version of the old thing. A car is not just a faster horse. A light bulb is not just a more advanced candle. It doesn't matter that they were built for the same purpose. They are completely different from one another because the fundamental form of these objects have changed. Similarly, the computer is not just an updated version of a typewriter. The television is not just a moving version of photography. Changes in the form of technology literally redefine language and public culture. The invention of the car didn't just make us move faster. It's revolutionized how we plan our cities, how much we value nature, how we express our social status, and has even become a form of every.
I mean, didn't horses do that?
I wouldn't know.
Like the type of horse you owned was always a status symbol.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
Sure,
I'm kind of on the fence of the redefinition thing.
Yeah.
Because yeah, a light bulb isn't a new candle, but anytime you use a candle now, it's a novelty.
Mm-hmm. It's for a different purpose, right? It's to get some kind of vibe going.
Right.
While a light bulb is just to have light.
Yeah, it completely supplants the original purpose of the thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I guess in function it is, but maybe not in, I don't know what it is, right?
Like the old thing becomes a novelty almost every time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when cars came around, horses became a fucking novelty. Like
Yeah.
now we use them for what, racing and rodeos?
Yeah, I think I would say the average horse is more so a status symbol than the average car, right?
At this point, yeah, kind of. Like you're either a farm person or you're somebody who wants to. Because of cars, we have horse girls now. Exactly. Which, honestly, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's press that.
This might be another finisher point thing.
Every medium predisposes it to be used in some ways and not in others. I need a fork. Hold on. I can use a fork as a knife if I tried hard enough, but its form makes it much more possible to use it for picking stuff up, not cutting things, even though I could if I wanted to. Blech. I am talking right now. And with my verbal words and sentences, I can convey pretty complex ideas. I can explain Hegel's dialectic, or tell you every single tiny step in the digestive system. But can I still do that if my form of communication was using a lighter? Maybe if you gave me 10 billion years to spell things out in Morse code, sure. But realistically, no.
I don't think she'll need 10 million years, but sure.
Well, hyperbole, but I don't
Yeah.
even necessarily think this is fair because you're taking something. It's because I was kind of on board for the innovation doesn't completely replace previous thing; it redefines previous thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then unless there's something back there I missed, I feel like she completely went off the reservation with like I can cut stuff with a fork. It's like, okay, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't quite know what the point is, to be completely honest.
Let's back this up just a touch here.
Yeah.
In Hegel's dialectic, or tell you every single time we value nature, how we express our social status, and has even become a sex symbol. The form of every medium predisposes it to be used in some ways and not in others. I need a fork. Hold on.
Okay, so let's back
The form of the medium predisposes it to be used in some ways. And okay, yeah.
But of course, right?
Right. But the same way you're not going to get the same form of ambiance with a light bulb than you are a candle. Right, I think is her point, even though she did kind of go about a clunky way.
Mm-hmm.
At least to me, I'm not so certain this doesn't work.
Okay.
But it threw a monkey wrench in my brain.
Use a fork as a knife if I tried hard enough, but it's much more possible to use it for picking stuff up, not cutting things, even though I could if I wanted to. Blech. I am talking right now. And with my verbal words and sentences, I can convey pretty complex ideas. I can explain Hegel's dialectic, or tell you every single tiny step in the digestive system. But can I still do that if my form of communication was using a lighter? Maybe if you gave me 10 billion years to spell things out in Morse code, sure. But realistically, no, I can't. The form of a lighter excludes certain types of content from being communicable. But maybe the
Okay, sure, but
Letter's
maybe
not for communication.
Yeah, like maybe we have to let her finish, but I just don't see.
It feels like she's starting to stretch here.
A little bit.
Is better suited for communicating other things, like danger or...
That might be the point.
Maybe.
It might just be a hyperbole.
Maybe.
I really miss the 2010s indie sleaze aesthetic. Thus, the main form of our communication methods will...
She's a fucking monster.
Do you not like her anymore?
I, I miss unwashed hipsters. Get out.
favor certain types of dominant content. I feel like a lot of people still think we live in a print society, so text like books and articles and just words in general are our main form of communication. But I feel like we're either saying bye-bye to print being the main player, or we already have said goodbye. What we more accurately
I think we already have, right?
Yep. Yeah, print's out the door. Print's been out the door for like 15 years now.
I don't know.
Like if I want to convey an idea, I send somebody a... Well, okay, maybe 10.
Yeah, 10.
Because like my parents and my grandparents used to own bookstores, and let's just say they sold at the perfect fucking time because they could not be running that business right now.
I mean, yeah, I work at I think I told you this before. I work at a comics publishing house.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's really hard to sell books.
Right, because nobody fucking wants them. Like it's only those very same unwashed, sloppy hipsters that fucking go, like myself apparently, a little self-report, that go and buy physical books, right?
Yeah, or old people, or like, yeah, hipsters, I guess. And I mean, I like books a lot. I hate reading on my screen, but I think I'm in the minority.
I have talked to a lot of people with that sentiment, but I think it is a minority sentiment, right? Like a fuckload more people watch the anime than read the manga.
Yeah, exactly. Or
I think that'll always be the case, just because of ease of access of the information.
Yeah, and even myself, who really likes reading, as I said before, it's hard to get started, right?
Mm-hmm. Just because of your particular tism brand.
Yeah, of course, but yeah.
A lot of people read on Kindles as well. Yeah, exactly. The physical printed is kind of going up. It's going the way of the candle, right? Or the way of the horse. It's a novelty at this point.
It's not quite there yet, I think, but I mean, give it another 10, 15 years for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay.
exist in is a visual audio society.
What did you say?
Americans in the 1800s were pretty obsessed with conquering space. Hashtag colonizer core. They worked really hard to extend railroads and make them move faster, but still, how fast information could move was limited by how fast transportation was. Then came the telegraph. Suddenly, information was free from the bounds of space. It's like words could just float through the air from one line to another. With the telegraph, New York and Louisiana could both hear about an affair that happened in Texas in a matter of minutes. Even though physically on land, New York is way farther from Texas than Louisiana, according to my very limited US geography. It created an interconnected country that was previously impossible. But this kind of caused a serious problem. People were like, whoa, I love not being able to wait. I just want to hear more and more right now. Over time, then, what mattered in
Telegram spearheaded the Coomer movement, confirmed. I need more right now. Oh no.
was simply whether it sounded interesting, shocking, or new.
Swift.
Telegraph companies wanted to send information as fast as possible. The value of information no longer came from its usefulness in social and political decision-making. Think about how before we could talk to someone halfway across the world, newspapers could only report on local news, about people and events that actually had a personal relationship or effect on us. Oh my god, Johnny drowned in the lake? Poor boy. I remember seeing him at the candy store once. The mayor raised our taxes again? Well, fuck, let's go protest outside of City Hall. But the telegraph wowed people with the speed at which information could be transmitted. Speed became this extremely valuable feature of information. And so what mattered was how much information could be transported in the shortest amount of time. This began the true commodification of information as a thing. We clearly see this today with...
Okay. This is just me not being very smart. Could you define commodification for me?
Colloquially, I would say it's just ease of access.
Okay.
Like making movies has become incredible. Like smartphones is the
Mm-hmm.
commodification of like filmmaking, right? Because you can film an
Yeah.
indie film on your goddamn iPhone.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me whip out the old Webster's. The access or process of treating something as a mere commodity.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Journalists fighting to be the first ones to write about breaking news. People on Twitter spreading the hottest gossip as quickly as possible, even when it's about the absolutely most irrelevant things ever. This causes a constant flow of information and more information and more information until actually important information gets drowned out in a sea of irrelevance. To understand how irrelevant the information we consume has gotten, Postman asks some really good questions. How often does it occur that information provided to you on morning radio or television or in the morning newspaper causes you to alter your plans for the day, or to take some action you would not otherwise have taken, or provides insight into some problem you are required to solve? Does learning about
Hardly ever.
Yeah, like I can't think of the last time I watched the news and it changed my plans.
Yeah. But is that a bad thing?
Yes, because that means it's all basically worthless, right?
Does it?
If not worthless, then unapplicable to your daily routine and immediate actionability, right?
Sure.
Because yeah, you've got all this information now, but
What do you actually do with it?
so what, right?
Yeah.
It's I hate to be Mr. Consequentialist man, but
Well, you
like
got
who the
looks.
fuck cares? Don't eat out your own ass.
Yeah, no. Fair.
latest celebrity got a botched nose job actually affect how we live our day-to-day lives? How many people, after reading about earthquakes and wars in a completely different continent, actually take any action to help? A man in Maine and a man in Texas could converse, but not about anything either of them knew or cared very much about. The telegraph may have made the country into one neighborhood, but it was populated by strangers who knew nothing but the most superficial facts about each other. These things give us something to talk about.
I agree with that.
These things give us something to talk about and to feel opinionated on.
Thing,
but most of the
like you use the news for, right, is let's like I'm gonna watch the news report and then this celebrity did this happened in this country, and then you go to work or you go to where you're hanging out for the day and you just bullshit about the thing with some vapid conversation about current event. Express accepted opinion and then completely forget about it.
I guess, but I was thinking more about the two individuals being able to, and maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, but like if we apply this to today's world with the internet, it's allowed me to connect to people who have much more similar interests to me than most of my real life friends. And while maybe the friendships aren't as close, there's definitely shit we can, like you and I, there's shit we talk about, right?
Yeah, there's definitely a utility to the commodification of information. But it's kind of one of those wide as an ocean, deep as a puddle.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like while we might be friends and by internet standards fairly good friends.
Mm-hmm.
I like neither of us are gonna fly to the village we live in. Right? Like if we could do IRL stream when you come to the States, that'd be fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna like. Of course, you have deep connections. How many people do you swap social media with and only see superficial shit? Yeah, exactly. Like that's kind of where I'm getting at. Is there is the potential for a real connection with this information commodification, but realistically, it doesn't happen nearly as often pre-telegraph, right? Because when you're stuck with the people you're stuck with in your village or your town, you're kind of forced to make those connections because you're stuck with those people.
For sure. For sure.
But now I don't even have to go outside. I don't even have to go to the damn store.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can just DoorDash all my shit, work from home, and then talk to some asshole in Switzerland all day.
Fuck you. Piece of shit.
Yeah.
No, of course. All I'm saying is I don't know. I have made some real connections. Some people I've even seen in real life. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Sure. Of course I know there's exceptions to the rule, right? Like I know people who met in a guild in World of Warcraft and ended up getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And have been married for like 10 years at this point. Like exceptions do exist, but I think they're in opposition to the rule as opposed to proof the rule doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you like formed a connection you thought was close with somebody on the internet, and then you just kind of stop talking to them and don't think about them ever again?
Yeah, of course.
It's happened to me a fuckload. Like people
Yeah.
I felt like I talked to this dude every day for like a year and a half, and then just nothing, and I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, no, of course. That happens a lot.
Right. So it's the commodification of social bonds.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of turned people into fucking sociopaths.
A little bit.
Right? Because if I can apply this to people online, why can't I apply this to people that I'm not stuck with on a daily basis, right? Like if I share an interest with somebody, like I go down to the game store and I play games with people, I go, fuck them, and just not show up. So long as it's not somebody I like work with, that I'm stuck in the same building with for an extended period, you can just drop them. And it's not something that would have ever really occurred to somebody in the before times, right? Before the widespread sociopathy that
For
the
sure.
information age has provided. So I think she's kind of onto something here.
Okay. For sure.
Feel opinionated on, but most of the information we receive is solely to action. Everything became everyone's business. For the first time, we were sent information which answered no question we had asked, and which, in any case, did not permit the right of reply. Intelligence becomes equated with knowing lots of things rather than knowing about things. Trivia games and crossword puzzles actually were invented because of this explosion of irrelevant information. With all the information people were getting that was useless or unrelated to our own lives, we were like, well, let's invent a situation where this information can become useful. The telegraph also separated information from context. In a piece of written text, sentences exist together. There is always context and continuity in what you read. You can see visibly how the sentences relate to one another. You are given time to digest what you read. But for the telegraph, slogans, headlines, and other one-liners became the form of information. It conveyed this message that good information doesn't need context. You don't need to hear about the history or the possible implications of the information, and we barely have time to digest what we see and hear before we're moving on to the next set of information. I'll watch an interesting video about class consciousness, but then as soon as I scroll, I'm hit with a cute cat video that is completely detached from what I just watched, and instantly changes my mind's focus.
That's a really cute cat. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree with her. Yeah.
How did you? We'd probably disagree on the conclusions of the class consciousness video, but I do agree with her assessment of the information just kind of becoming sludge.
I don't know if we would disagree, actually. I'm not a anti-capitalist.
No, I'd probably disagree with her.
Ah, okay.
With the conclusions of the class consciousness video.
Yeah. But with a broader point, right?
Yeah, what's the point she's making in the video?
Yeah. Or like just...
I stopped listening to her. Exactly. At greater than presentation, always.
Where is my fucking cap, by the way? I have no idea.
Oh, I ate it.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Are fragmented statements like, virus from China spreads across the world, harming millions. But questions like, why did it come from China? How did it spread? What should we do? Are all up to the consumer to decide. And we then have to decide based on our own pre-existing biases. Because the
And then get banned from Twitter for something that was confirmed by the CDC 3 years later.
I'm not dipping my toes into that.
I'll leave it vague.
producer ain't giving us much to work with. I think this is what causes a lot of conflict online. We fight over what things mean because they're given to us without context. The lack of nuance I often see on TikTok is dangerous. Like, stop telling people, here are 2 reasons why your boyfriend can never ever love you, and then not explain the reasons at all. I saw someone say that Gen Z makes fun of
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There's many more reasons than just 2 why your boyfriend will never love you.
But I feel the same way about the recent red pill movement.
Yeah.
I hate the way they talk about people because it's like it's only in the categories of male and female instead of individuals, right?
There's definitely a lot of that on the farther end, unlike the deep end of that rabbit hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the further down you go, the more, like, it's a weird thing. It like started from this rejection of identity groups, and you get far enough down into it, it turns back into identity groups. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the anti-SJW movement.
Yeah, the skeptic movement, and the early atheists on YouTube that turned like it was much as I hate to say it, around fucking Gamergate, like split into 2 camps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got like the violent Marxists, and not like physically violent, but like
Mm-hmm.
the red pill's a trans analogy. No, it's not. I'm familiar with that argument, like that the red pill was supposed to be because estrogen comes in a red pill, but
Wait, didn't it come from the Matrix?
it came from the Matrix, but the two brothers that made it both transitioned, and so they tried to like retcon the Matrix into trans allegory as a form of try to reclaim the red pill metaphor.
Okay.
But it wasn't. It never was.
Well, I know nothing about it, to be honest.
It's just 2 primary colors they fucking picked.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't the writer a trans woman? Yeah, they both are. It was they were twins and they both transitioned.
But were they did they come out as trans, or did they I guess identify as trans back then?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
They got a fuckload of money and came out as trans at the same time. Which, that's a rabbit hole I'd rather not step into right now.
Let's not. Yeah. Back to the skeptic movement for just a brief second.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like back in like 2014 to 2017, it was mostly like libertarians, vaguely left, who hated the whole identity thing and the authoritarian movement that came out of the left, right? But now it seems like it's mostly conservatives who are just vaguely racist and sexist.
I couldn't tell you about the free. Like so libertarians generally identify as like center right, right? That's generally where libertarians are lumped into. Most of the skeptic and atheist community was center left, because it was kind of a reaction to the authoritarian right that were mostly conservative Christians at the time. And it kind of, with the internet being the internet and tribalism being tribalism, everything spitballed and kind of rolled way the fuck out of control. And then Gamergate happened and a bunch of people split off into like violently socialist and then violently reactionary. And now we're stuck with this mess.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Sargon of Akkad, right? Who used to identify as center left and wait, what did he say? Classical English liberal, something like that.
Yeah.
And now he's just. Last time I saw something of his was in some Stitch and Adam stream, but he seems like super right wing now, super conservative.
Yeah, I think Sargon became. He's like the religious conservative minus the Christianity. Because I'm pretty sure he's still an atheist. But he's I think he's even a race realist. I'm not sure on that. Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't watch much Sargon stuff, and I haven't heard him talk about much of anything recently. But just listening to people talk about him, it's not somebody I'm gonna listen to.
Yeah, no. He came out as anti-science a while ago, which I don't know.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's just really funny to me.
Just like I've heard people say that before, but I can never get like a, because like it's used both as a slur and as like an identifier for tribal purposes. Right? Because like somebody's like, I'm anti-science, and then some portion of the right will go, yay, anti-science, and then somebody will be like, hey, I have questions about global warming, and then everybody on the left will start throwing anti-science shit at you, right? So I don't fucking know what that means anymore.
I have no idea. Also, an interesting development. Have you seen the Richard Spencer debate with Destiny on No Jumper?
No, I heard it happened though.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen anything else of Richard Spencer, so he might just be lying, but he seems like just your typical, like, liberal.
He might just be trying to rebrand.
Maybe.
He hasn't been relevant
in
internet-wise in a while, so it might be gnawing at him, and he's just trying to like, hey, remember me? I'm still a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody who used to like him hates him now. The people he's saying he's part of the camp now hate him as well because of his past. I don't really see the purpose.
Try to reestablish a fan base and become relevant again.
Yeah, maybe.
Some people just need to be talked about.
Yeah.
It's like the people that invent cancellations for themselves.
Yes. Fucking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Video.
Press on.
Boomers for believing everything they see on Facebook, but we literally believe everything we see on TikTok? And, like, I'm sorry, but that is so true for some of you. Not every statement someone says with confidence is true. Constantly seeing things communicated to us in a visual format is also very different from a print society. Before, people were known for what they wrote. When you said the name President John Tyler, Americans would think of his written work or his oral speech. The early presidents of America could walk down the streets without anyone recognizing them, because no one gave two shits about what they looked like. Visual imagery wasn't the dominant form of communication, so as hard as it is to believe today, pictures weren't seen as the best representation of people. Now though, when you say the names Donald Trump, Jimmy Carter, even scientists like Albert Einstein, a picture of them pops into our minds, even if their appearance is totally unrelated to what they do.
Could that only be because humans are very visual beings, though?
I think it's more infectious now because humans are very visual beings, but I think she's right in that visual media wasn't the go-to, right? It was radio and written word and like presented speeches.
Of course.
Because it wasn't until about World War II with like the broadcasts of like Churchill and Hitler did visual media become like the media of the day, right? That was why Goebbels focused on movies for propaganda.
Yeah.
Because he recognized it was the future and he kind of weaponized it.
It's just, I feel like we have a chicken and egg situation here. Like,
Potentially. It may have just not been the case. Well, I would argue it wasn't the case that it was a visual medium was the default because
it wasn't widely available,
I
feel.
Yeah, it wasn't. Visual media like movies and pictures wasn't commodified yet.
Exactly.
Right, cameras weren't widely available.
Yeah. Yeah. Unsure.
Of course, photos and pictures existed long ago. But to say we live in a visual audio society is to say that photos and videos are replacing written text as our main method of understanding and constructing reality. And photography really succeeded in taking over because it's such a good complement to the telegraph. The telegraph did open the world up to us, but it was like, who the fuck are all these people? Photography was able to give the unknown a sense of familiarity. It gave faces to names of strangers, representations of places that we previously never cared about. Quote, it created the illusion, at least, that the news had a connection to something with one's sensory experience. Visual imagery is really powerful in this way. It's really in your face. You can't help but have it impose onto you.
It feels to me that the reason film resonates so much is because it targets multiple senses of ours, right? It's got
Yeah, and it's the lowest bar of entry for processing information.
Yeah.
Reading a soldier coming home from war can be emotional, but nothing compares to watching it happen with our eyes. Why is that? Well, a main reason is that writing is propositional in nature. It always carries the potential of meaning. Whenever we read words, they exist in the context of being true or false. The sky is blue. My name is Olivia. I am 6 feet tall. Even if we're not consciously asking ourselves, is this sentence true?
She's tall. Holy shit. 6 feet? Isn't that like 180 or something?
Amazonian Asian Dami Mommy. Hold on, let me convert it from freedom units to Tommy units.
You mean from fucking retard units to normal units, or?
Yeah, that's what I said. 182.
Holy shit, that's huge. Okay. Long woman.
false. We need to either accept or question each sentence before we can move on with reading. But pictures don't leave the same room for opinions. You don't judge whether a picture is true or false the same way you judge a sentence. You can debate whether the sentence oliSUNvia is 6 feet tall is true or false. But if you see an unedited picture of oliSUNvia being 6 feet tall, you have no choice but to accept the world as captured by the camera. There's no argument.
Yeah, you don't, like, nobody questions a video, right? You see the video and you're like, oh, that's wild, and you just accept it. That's why, like, whenever, like, you know, the dog rescue TikToks, and how people will, like, go adopt a dog and then run it over and then film them saving the dog, even though they're the ones who fucking ran it over.
Is that a
That's
thing?
why those are... Yeah, it's absolutely a thing.
Holy shit. What the hell?
It's foolish to think something normal would be going on here. Yeah, why would you think that?
Hey, we've had a pretty normal stream today.
Typical
More
for us,
normal
not
than
normal.
usual.
I'm sober.
Right, me too.
Sure.
Fuck you.
You know I'm 193, right?
Are you?
I am.
Holy shit.
I am Longman.
You are. Hey, that's something that
Imagine a written
differentiates you from Wash, right? Isn't he like a manlet?
No, I'm pretty sure he's tall. I think he's my size.
Ah, okay, never mind then.
I
Wash confirmed.
Oh my god. I typed in Vosh. The very next thing that popped up was Vosh horse. No. Yeah, he's 6'2".
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's just an idiot.
In a written advert for a dentist like this. If you need your teeth to be cleaned, pay.
I don't agree that everyone just believes pictures are real, but I think that's because there's people who make a conscious effort to question what they see, right? That's what I do.
Yeah, but I think that's a new and rare phenomenon, right? Like because we're so aware that shit can be so easily edited. Especially now with stuff like, hold on. What was I saying?
Everyone's aware of how easily pictures can be edited, especially now with stuff like...
Yeah, so the being skeptical of information you're provided is a lot easier now.
Yeah, for sure.
Or more common, but it's certainly a lot easier. It's a lot easier to just, for someone to just accept visual information than it is for somebody to, like, if you see something written down, like the point she's getting to here, I think it's easy for you to just go, yeah, bullshit, and then just ignore it. But if you show somebody a video of it happening,
yeah, no, of course,
they're almost certainly just going to accept it.
Of course.
Which is what makes that AI, like deep fakes and AI voices, so fucking scary, right? Because here in like 10 years, you're not going to be able to believe fucking anything.
Yeah, I mean, the concept of video evidence will have to be thrown out, I feel like.
Oh yeah, like video evidence is going to be useless in court, but it's going to happen like a decade or two after it's useless.
Yeah.
It'll take way too long for the legal system to catch up.
As always, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I need to go piss. Don't say any gamer words. And
oh no.
Entertain chat for me. Thank you.
You just put all of them in my mind. No.
Don't say them. Be strong.
Oh no.
All right. Be right back.
Hello, chat. Today we're going to talk about Nero peeing and why that's a good thing. Mushroom Lady, where'd you find this chick? There's some, oh no. No. Okay. Met through a mutual friend. What, Nero? Oh, I meant the lady in the video. oliSUNvia. Or did you actually meet her through a mutual friend? Oh, it just popped up in the algorithm? Yeah, that's how I consume like 90% of my YouTube now, unless I'm looking for something very particular. It's just, it's YouTube's replaced all of my entertainment. I don't watch TV. I hardly watch movies. I barely play games anymore, honestly. Like, if I want something to do, I'll put out a YouTube video in my recommended and then, like, sort through magic cards or write D&D stuff. But I definitely think she's, at least so far, onto something about drowning in entertainment, the age of distraction. Yeah, the distraction bad. She showed up in your For You. Right, and you just started digging around in her channel, and this one piqued your interest. She's definitely hammering on something I've been saying for a while, or at least have been conscious of. And it's something I try to at 6 feet. It's definitely something I try to alleviate myself of as often as possible.
I'm back.
Right, like lock up your phone. Welcome back. How was the pee?
It was really nice pee.
Marvelous. Like lock up your phone. Go outside. Try to get like meat space interaction. She has really catchy editing.
Yeah, I like her editing.
I think she knows what she's doing. She's got the right idea. I think she just needs more reps.
What does that mean?
She just needs to do it more. Reps being like workout lingo for repetitions.
Okay.
So like she just pumps out more videos with the same style of editing. I think she'll get her style down pat. There's something in the back of my head that thinks she's kind of stiff. Right, like kind of a little uncomfortable in front of the camera. And like she knows what she wants to do with the editing. But I'm not certain. She's got fucking 600,000 subscribers. So I'm clearly talking out of my ass.
It's the thing for me is it's not it's not very much my style, right? Just the I'm not a big, or not even not a big fan. It's just not what I usually watch, the whole video essay crowd. But I don't know. I think she's pretty okay, at least, if not better than that.
I think she's better than like your typical popular video essayist.
For sure.
Which isn't saying all too much, I suppose, but
no, but she makes points that I mean, we've criticized some stuff, but I think I broadly agree so far. She seems to know her stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, she's fairly informed, and I agree with the conclusions she's reaching. I got caught up on a few of the analogies, but that's at this point a nitpick.
Yeah, I think everything we've pointed out so far was nitpicking, mostly.
Right, which if that's it, You're doing good, kid. Keep it up. Which, I mean, 600,000 subs. Like,
yeah, she's
clearly doing something
advice
right
from us, but
right, yeah.
I think the thing that's show us your tits, okay.
Oh.
The thing I would criticize the most is that she
desire to be
she
sad.
makes stuff a bit more complicated than it has to be at times. Like the whole fork thing really threw me off.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's getting a little convoluted, so she can hammer home a point.
Mm-hmm. But
yeah.
Also,
Which I ain't gonna pretend I've never done that.
yeah, right. That sounds like an interesting video, by the way. Mushroom. Sounds, yeah. Okay, wanna press on?
Is there? I am going to have to depart shortly.
Oh, yeah.
I have an interview in like half an hour.
Oh, yeah, sure. No worries. Just
we offer the best services in the country, including basic cleaning, cavity fillings, and wisdom teeth removal. We hire straight from Harvard and hire all of our staff according to the 2020 Dentistry Handbook. Each sentence, you're left to wonder, how true is that claim? Do they really hire from Harvard? Do they really follow the 2020 Dentistry Handbook? Is 2022 outdated? Compare this to seeing a visual advertisement like this. Images just don't call on you to judge them as true or false. They are there to evoke feelings. You can like or dislike an ad, you can feel happy or sad or hungry because of it, but you can't prove—
sorry, I think I do agree, but I just want to say text can also be there to evoke feelings, like all the high top shit of putting text on your screen to make your point hit home harder. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. But it's much easier to look at a wall of text and compartmentalize each statement and make it pass your own sniff test every time you read one of the statements than it is to take in the entirety of like a visual ad. And it's like that's the magic of McDonald's red and yellow scheme, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's just so much
that this
so many details or like messages you don't even consciously really recognize that are in an image that you can't really put into a text because everything is in front of you in a way.
Right, it tricks your animal brain into like entering certain thought patterns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Oh.
Wrong if it's unedited. The way that you can refute this claim, we hire straight from Harvard. Okay, so what has all of this been building up to, really? What is the type of content that our visual audio society favors?
Do you ever give yourself this?
What?
Like just a time to be stuck? Like time to just sit and do nothing and...
Not really.
There's nothing wrong with being entertained. I love being entertained. But the problem is when entertainment becomes a default form of all experiences. Entertaining has almost become synonymous with valuable or relevant. People have criticized the quality of my videos.
Yeah, and it's something that I hate the term edutainment.
Right, but if something's not entertaining, like if it's purely educational, no one's going to consume it, right? Yeah. Because I can get a 45-second summary on TikTok that's much more entertaining than reading your thesis as to why food is good, right?
Yeah, but you lose so much for it, right?
Absolutely, but nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're literally a scholar, nobody's going to give a rat's ass.
And other commentary creators because they're too boring, which is to say that they're by comments like that. I think a lot of learning learning we do is not supposed to humor us or cause some rush of dopamine, but unfortunately, there's become a natural expectation of entertainment in every aspect of experience. Court trials about awful cases like rape and murder have been televised for people's entertainment. They're made to be so dramatic such that it feels like a soap opera. After presidential speeches or debates, news companies love to hinge on jokes or witty one-liners said by candidates, rather than the quality and accuracy of any of the real politics.
Listen, are you in favor of law and order?
Yeah, nobody cares about like the statement of facts.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody cares about the implications of a certain policy proposal. Everybody wants to hang on the zingers. Like that was a big part of Trump's appeal in 2016, right? He was just basically doing a stand-up routine in front of the country. Dude was just talking shit the whole time, and it fucking worked.
And yet, people thought he had lost after, I think, the second debate.
Right. Oh, yeah, of course. He was dismissed immediately.
Yeah.
And it took a 4-year, like, coordinated fuck-off campaign by every media outlet except for Fox News to dislodge that. Right. It took basically the entire media apparatus of American news drumming up outrage his entire presidency to dislodge him.
I don't think that did. I think. You know what? Let's not get into it. Because then we'll be here for an hour.
Okay, hold on. It's your turn to entertain. I must urine.
All right. Yeah, I guess he's gone peeing now. And now I don't really know what to talk about. Mushroom Lady, how do you feel about our coverage so far? Any notes? Guess not. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I liked the video. As we said, most we talk about is just nitpicks. But that's also because, right, we don't want to just steal, or at least for me, it's also because I don't just want to steal the video. I want to say something about it. So I am incentivized to pause pretty often. But yeah, I think I'll check her out, like see what else she got. Yeah, for sure.
Hi, Beck.
Hello.
Hopefully interesting in a constructive way.
I wouldn't know, but yeah.
I don't want to. The whole point of like reacting is to dish out takes, right? But I don't want to. I don't want Mushroom Lady to hand you a video and be like, react, and then come in to watch the reaction and leave with a bad taste in her mouth.
No, to be fair to her, she didn't tell me to react. She just told me to watch it. That was my idea. But
okay.
What was I gonna say? I mean, we disagree politically on shit as well, right? But I disagree with her politically on shit as well. But I think that's valuable. Very much so.
I think it's valuable for in the sense of like thought exercises, right? Like, can you really say you hold a position if it's not at least rudimentary challenged in passing? I think it's valuable to have friends like, as far as internet homies go, you're probably one of my tightest.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I'd put you in like definitely top 5, probably top 3.
Same.
And I'm sure we can get into like drag out hour and a half, 5 bazillion day long arguments, and just it's fine.
Yeah, but
it's just a lot of people can't do that.
Yeah,
And
I do make it a point to talk to people who have very different backgrounds from me and also very different opinions, because I think that's really interesting. I like to hear takes from people who see the world differently from me, as long as it's constructive, right?
Right, like just like a put up your walls, turn off your brain screaming match isn't gonna fucking help anybody.
No,
right? That's not gonna do anybody any good. All it's gonna do is raise your blood pressure, shorten your life by a day, and you're gonna go on hating one more person in the world, which doesn't do anybody any good.
I mean, I don't see you doing that at all.
I do my damnedest not to.
Yeah.
And, well, I guess I used to. There's a guy. I'm not gonna. Like, I'm not getting back. Like, once I finish my point here, I'm probably gonna have to go because it's like a 15-minute drive.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I used to work with a guy I disagreed with on basically everything. Overnights at a gas station, and almost every night we'd get into like a screaming match over something stupid. But I always looked forward to working with him because it would make me explain almost every single stance I held.
Yeah.
And it did result in me, like, you never change your opinion in the argument, right? Like, I don't think you can convince somebody of anything in the moment.
Yeah.
I think you can only expose weaknesses in somebody's thinking, and then later, upon reflection, they can change their own mind.
Yeah, you can give the initial push, I think.
Mm-hmm. Like, somebody can present to you, like, here's the statue of my idea, and then you can walk up and be like, there's a hole right there, and then walk away. And that's as far as like constructive as you can get, because then somebody has to look at it and go, okay, can I fill that rationally, or do I have to rebuild the statue?
And I like to do that to myself, I guess, because I want the positions I hold to stand up to scrutiny.
Right, and it's a lot harder to do it to yourself than it is to just have like passive conversations with people you disagree with.
I don't mean as in question, like, go through my arguments myself. I'm more as in talking to people who have different opinions to me and watching creators who have differing opinions to me.
Well, it's like
studies I disagree with, shit like that.
Right. It's very similar to the idea of the best way to learn something is to teach someone. Right. Once you have to break something down and explain it to somebody, it gives you a better understanding of that thing, because you need to have a more fundamental understanding of a thing to explain it to somebody who is completely ignorant to the topic.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of what I like about streaming as well. Like, engaging with a topic and kind of finding out how I stand on it.
You say streaming or dreaming?
Streaming.
Oh, I thought you said dreaming. I'm like, Nero, what the hell are you talking about? Oh no. I highlighted the video and the drugs have taken hold.
No, streaming.
Yeah, it's especially doing like this kind of reaction stuff. It kind of forces your hand to engage in topics you wouldn't necessarily give two shits about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, with that, sir, I must depart.
Well, it was great talking to you again. I hope
Always.
next time will be sooner than the last time.
It will be. It will be. It's because it's been what, fucking months since we've actually spoken to each other.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, we can't let that happen again.
We cannot.
I will certainly make an effort to do more Stroomblies with
would be cool.
stupid video. and I'll drag you kicking and screaming into Twitch yet again.
Do that. I do have to warn you, I'm really busy right now, but it will all be over in June.
Oh no. It's
What?
all over.
No, in a good sense.
Oh, hooray.
Yeah.
All right, sir. I will leave you to the video.
Yeah.
Mushroom Lady, have a good day. Okay, if you're still here. It's
good
been
luck
wonderful.
with the interview.
Thank you, sir.
And
everyone have a marvelous day.
You too.
Bye.
Goodbye. Okay. All right, let's press on.
And order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow it.
Are you in favor of law and order? Go ahead.
The news is especially a great example of how entertainment is just assumed to be the form. Quote, even on news shows which provide us daily with fragments of tragedy and barbarism, we are urged by the newscasters to join them tomorrow. What for? One would think that several minutes of murder and mayhem would suffice as material for a month of sleepless nights. We accept the newscaster's invitation because we know that the news is not to be taken seriously. News shows make sure they pick decent-looking people, conventionally attractive if possible, with good chemistry. Music opens and closes the show, making the news seem more like a film or a play rather than information about the real world. When we watch the news, a lot of stories get reduced to less than a minute. The quick pace of it all prohibits any real act of thinking. Online, people...
I can't really talk on the American news because I'm not in America, and even here I don't really watch the news that often. I don't even have a TV. But from what I've seen from the American news, she seems to be right. So yeah.
Want to hear you say, let me think about it, or I don't know, because those type of phrases slow down the show. It's not entertaining to watch people sit and actually think. It's much more entertaining to watch rapid takedowns and quick reaction.
I mean, again, I can't really talk on that, but like last time I really watched the news was maybe 5 years ago, but I don't know, it seemed better than what I've seen from America, but yeah, I don't know.
So if the family decides to stab them, it's okay to stab the
when they're brain dead? Yeah, if they want to.
No, not brain dead. Let's say that you're comatose for a short period of time, say 9 months.
Say not. Well, what is the person?
How much does this contribute to people thinking that they're well-informed, all the while knowing very little? Well, take the example of the war on Afghanistan. It received literally constant media attention for years. So we can assume that most Americans at this time were very knowledgeable about the war. Right? Would most Americans even know the language the people of Afghanistan speak? Any of the laws of their constitution? Or even the main points of their political and cultural history? Quote, nonetheless, everyone had an opinion about this event, for in America, everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Do you think that there should be rules about...
Another nitpick, I don't like her quoting, like, she puts up quotes and doesn't tell us who said them, which I'm not a big fan of that, but, yeah. I think, how do I put this? Everyone is entitled to an opinion. I feel about that very strongly, but I also think there needs to be a recognition in society that we don't have to have an opinion on everything. We don't have to, yeah. Exactly. We don't have to have a strong stance on everything we see or everything we hear about, because we're not informed on everything. Yeah.
Taught in school?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, what wouldn't you like to see taught in school?
There's critical race theory.
Yeah, that critical race theory, as soon as I heard about that, I'm like, why are we doing this?
What is critical race theory?
I don't know. I haven't.
Right.
Arguably.
Yeah, right? I don't know much about critical race theory, so I don't have an opinion on it. I don't know really what's it about. And I don't care too much to change that. So, yeah, that's basically, yeah.
The most dangerous type of disinformation is that which creates the illusion of being informed when they're really being led away from knowledge. Returning back to the news, also notice how newscasters are expected to recite everything with a straight face.
Yeah, no, I got that, and I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. I'm sorry to do this right now, but let me see if I can get chat on. No, it's too much effort right now. I'll do it in between streams.
People would at least grimace if they were talking about something as awful as a mass shooting. But newscasters talk like this, as if they don't even grasp the real meaning of what they're saying.
Check your panties. About 175,000 rice. I think that was supposed to be pantries.
And then after talking about seriously heartbreaking or impactful events like...
Yeah, but that's just because the anchors aren't the ones writing the stories. I'm guessing they see it for the first time while reading it, which is a problem, maybe. I'm not sure, but I don't see this as much more than a funny clip. Let me get back a little bit.
They're really being led away from knowledge. Returning back to the news, also notice how newscasters are expected to recite everything with a straight face. Real people would at least grimace if they were talking about something as awful as a mass shooting. But newscasters talk like this, as if they don't even grasp the real meaning of what they're saying.
Check your panties. About 175,000 rice. I think that was supposed to be pantries.
And then after talking about...
Yeah, I don't... Yeah. It makes it inhumane. It's the whole meme about, like, this meme. Wait.
Good evening, I'm Ken Bastida. Dana is off tonight. He was murdered and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, it makes it distant. And it makes it, I don't know, non-human. Maybe Mushroom Lady, is that the same with the Swiss news? I don't know. Okay, thank you.
Heartbreaking or impactful events like natural disasters, they hit us with a commercial break.
Perhaps the only chance of survival in the case of a nuclear attack. Pat Couch, Channel 5 Action News, Dallas.
Target proudly presents the grand opening sale at its new Ridgemar store.
All of this contributes again to the news being more entertaining than informative. It's like, hey, here's an updated death toll for the earthquake in Turkey. Here's a husband who murdered his entire family. But also, did you know that McDonald's Spicy McChicken is back for a limited time? I recently did my annual rewatching of Catching Fire, as everyone should, and there's a scene where Plutarch tells President Snow how to contain the revolution and keep people distracted from political content. How he described it was basically exactly how our news is formatted.
She's engaged. Make everything about that. What kind of dress is she gonna wear? Floggings. What's the cake gonna look like? Executions. Who's gonna be there? Fear.
Love the Hunger Games, always so relevant. I can't whistle, but I would if I could.
What the fuck is that? I think I'm not gonna okay? I'm not gonna talk shit about Hunger Games. But so many people I've met recently tell me they can't whistle, and I don't fucking get it. Whistling is like, how is it hard? It's just I hope that came through. It's yeah, I don't
so used to just having a random ass ad put in the middle of like super serious topics that I don't think we really understand how absurd that is. Imagine if an author suddenly put an ad in the middle of a book, and not just once, but several times in each chapter. You wouldn't even—
She says imagine, but let's be real. It's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. I don't see how it I fucking hate ads. They're everywhere. They're always. You know somebody who can't whistle. My girlfriend. She can't whistle. Also, the friend we went to the Lance Butters concert with, he can't whistle. I don't get it. Yeah. I forgot my point. Never mind.
Able to take that book seriously. Like, imagine reading, "We are so thoroughly adjusted to the status quo that we naturalize human creations." But first, H&M is having their biggest sale of the year. All fall essentials are 20% off. Sign up to be a member and earn points with every purchase. Acknowledging the constructed origin of our norms is a necessary step to change.
Yeah, L. And yeah, I mean, it is a bit over-exaggerated here and everything, but I don't know. I feel like it will happen in the future that we have literal fucking ads in books. I mean, we already have them in newspapers. We already have them in comic books. Like, yeah.
Now, I, as a serious writer, would never do that to my audience. By the way, this video is sponsored by Nebula, my streaming service for thoughtful videos, podcasts, and classes by content creators like myself and many others. One channel I've really been into lately is Second Thought, who produces really well-researched educational content about socialism and class. And lucky for me, they have tons of additional and exclusive content on Nebula, including this original series called The New F Word, which explores the origins and present forms of global fascism, while delving into how to protect our society from this ideology. Go check it out, it's really good. I know firsthand how restrictive YouTube can be with what we say. I've had videos demonetized or age restricted because YouTube is just pretty stingy, and I know lots of creators with that same experience. But with Nebula, we can create with more freedom and test experimental ideas. So if any of my future videos get taken down—
I don't... Well, she's talking about taking down videos. That's maybe more fair, but often when I see Nebula ads, it's the whole thing of, oh, they won't be picked up by the algorithm, and I really don't like that. If you want to make a video, just make it. Don't be so stingy about Don't be so stingy about the money. Yeah, not a fan.
Rest assured that they will always be available on Nebula. By subscribing to Nebula, you'll be directly supporting your favorite creators, like myself, enabling them to make content that you love. When you sign up using my unique link, you'll not only get access to Nebula, but also Nebula classes, where creators who are experts in their field can directly share their knowledge and creative process with you. There's a huge
Sure, but most YouTubers don't make their money through ad revenue, right? They make it through Patreon, they make it through merch, they make it through memberships. Yeah, I don't know. And if making videos is your passion, which I would hope it is for YouTubers, then just make the fucking video. I don't know.
of nebula classes that offer a unique learning experience that's hard to find elsewhere. By learning directly from these successful creators, you can gain insight into the video editing process, or telling culturally authentic stories, or improving your jazz improvisation. Improvisation. If you sign up using the link below, you can support me directly and get both Nebula and Nebula classes for a 40% off annual plan, which is as little as $2.50 a month. Thank you for your support. Go check it out. Quick switches between content, like what I just did, both on the news and on every social media app, sends the message that 1 minute or even a few seconds is a sufficient amount of time to care about something. Others decide for you when it's time to move on to the next set of information. This obviously...
I'm sorry, I just spaced out. I need to go back, sorry.
And Nebula classes for a 40% off annual plan, which is as little as $2.50 a month. Thank you for your support. Go check it out. Quick switches between content, like what I just did, both on the news and on every social media app, sends the message that 1 minute or even a few seconds is a sufficient amount of time to care about something. Others decide for you when it's time to move on to the next set of information. This obviously...
I have difficulties understanding that sentence. Maybe I'm just dumb?
Quick switches between content, like what I just did, both on the news and on every social media app, sends the message that 1 minute or even a few seconds is a sufficient amount of time to care about something. Others decide for you when it's time to move on to the next set of information. This
I wish blowfish was still here because I'm getting hung up on others decide. Like, I get everything she says before that, but others decide for you. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Obviously affects our attention span. There's a part of the book that when I read it, it made my eyes pop out because I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I'm getting hung up on the others decide. I don't know what that means. It doesn't. I don't think it matters too much. It's fine.
Sends the message that 1 minute or even a few seconds is a sufficient amount of time to care about something. Others decide for you when it's time to move on to the next set of information. This obviously affects our attention span. There's a part of the book that when I read it, it made my eyes pop out because I just couldn't believe it. During the debates between Abraham Lincoln and his opponent, Stephen Douglas, there was one debate where Douglas gave a 3-hour talk with no break. People then went home to have dinner, and then they came back for 4 more straight hours of talking. People sat through 7 hours.
Yeah. I mean, that's... Yeah. Where wasn't it like a thing in Japan that plays used to take like 3 days? And I don't know, that seems just... It seems nice to me, like having that kind of... Maybe it's having that kind of attention span. Like maybe it's my ADD talking again, because I fucking love like really getting into something and being like doing it for hours on end, and just nothing else exists outside of what you're doing. And yeah, maybe
political discussion in one day. And keep in mind that they didn't have pictures or flashy stage or music. It was just them talking. And they weren't even running for a big position like president or a member of the Senate. People just genuinely thought that their political education was that important. Imagine feeling as though your vote mattered. What a wild concept. I don't know anybody today who would be able to dedicate 7 hours of their night to pure speech, even if it was about something that they really were interested in. Our presidential debates today are 90 minutes long. Each person speaks for an average of a few minutes per topic, and
90 minutes seems really short. Really short. Crime, 59 seconds? 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 59 tax reform, wow. Like, maybe it's just like I watch really long stuff. I watch EFAP, which takes like 6 hours at a time. I watch Destiny stuff, which often takes like one debate is like 4 hours or something. Maybe it's just me, but 90 minutes just seems like not enough time for something like that. Definitely something as important as presidential debates, right? Yeah. Like 2.5 minutes in North Korea, that, I don't know.
Watch the debates on social media. There are tons.
2 fucking minutes on climate change? That's, yeah. Sucks. I don't know. Yeah. I guess all this is to say I agree with her. I don't know.
Digital ads surrounding your screen to add that extra visual stimulation. The average length of a shot on TV back in 1985 was 3.5 seconds, but I'm pretty sure it's even shorter today. I don't even remember when this became a thing, but having serious topics paired with like random cooking videos or Subway Surfers or a Simpsons episode.
The creation of the third world has been going on for 400 years, brings us to another revelation, namely that the
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that. And it's just yeah, it's a symptom of what she's talking about, right? It's just we can't focus on one thing for too long. Yes, they are. They are. I can't focus on one not me. People can't focus on one thing for too long. And now people can't even focus on one thing for like a minute. They have to have 2 more visual stimulations to yes, exactly. And for people like me, it just takes me out of it. I can't focus on 2 things at once. I either focus on what's being said or the Subway Surfer or the whatever 1,000-degree knife or whatever. It's, yeah, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
world is not poor. You don't go to poor countries to make money.
Really goes to show that our attention span is kind of fucked. Bill Moyers, a journalist, once said, "We Americans seem to know everything about the last 24 hours, but very little of the last 60 centuries or the last 60 years." Interestingly, I think our inability to pay attention and to remember things partially explains the rise of nostalgic content. People in our generation love nostalgia. We eat that shit up. Whether that's romanticizing the summer.
Yes, but hasn't that been a thing for a very long time? I feel like even back in 2000s, nostalgia has been a huge thing. I don't know.
2013, even though half of Gen Z was like 8 years old, or crying over the 3rd generation of K-pop being gone, even though there were literally fan wars every second. We can't remember enough of the facts and context to assign anything past just a general feeling. And so it's easy to just think, oh yeah, I think it felt nice. As a video essayist who tries to make educational content in a more entertaining manner, I've wondered a lot about how I fit into all of this. I undeniably put on makeup and I try to look good in front of the camera. I try to have as many pauses in my talking cut out as possible, and I try to make sure I include enough outside footage so that people don't get bored staring at my face for like 5 minutes. I have...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it is something that bothers me, but not about her. I think she's been doing a pretty good job. She's mostly on screen, but just just a constant, I hope you're still here, pay attention, here's a clip of whatever, yeah, but it's not something I don't think I can fault the creators for it, really, because I need to think about this, honestly, because in a way, of course, they're feeding it, right? In a way, but like make a video that doesn't do that, and you're just not being noticed, I guess. But yeah, I need to think about this more.
Ads that interrupt my videos. And while I know people don't discredit the quality of YouTube videos for having ads because everyone does it, I still wonder how it affects the perception of educational content on YouTube. Will video essays ever feel as serious as a written article? Do I affect people's expectations when it comes?
That's an interesting question, really. Like, because no, but also, like, probably not, right? But at the same time, if you asked like people and they gave you honest answers, whether they watch videos more or watch or read articles, and if they were honest, most people would say videos, right? It's just but that's what she's talking about, I guess.
Learning outside of YouTube? The answers may be different for different people. For me, I actually find that watching a really educational and entertaining video on YouTube leads me to want to read more books and learn more outside of YouTube. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I feel like she's in the minority with that. I feel like most people don't do that, which is a problem, but I mean, I don't really do it either, right? Yeah. Huh.
If this is the same for other people, but you let me know. But even then, still, there's this problem I struggle with, which is like, how much does my persona matter to everything? And it's like, how likable and attractive do I have to make me as a person, as a friend, as a creator, to make people think my content is valid? Will the visual form of video essays inherently make my image more representative of me than my words and ideas? Because I'm sure when people say oliSUNvia, the first thing that pops into their head is a picture of me, not what I've said. When people are represented first by their image.
Yes, probably. And I think the only way to get around that is to not show yourself, right? When I think of Mahler, I think of what he says. I think of what his positions are even before I think, I'm not sure, maybe first I think of even his avatar, his gas mask thing. But when I think of Destiny, first thing I think about is his face, right? Yeah. But I think we talked about this before. I think it's got a lot to do with just people being visual beings. Yeah. We do. I think even I have no idea what George Orwell looks like, but when I think of George Orwell, I think of the cover I have of the edition of Animal Farm I got. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And not their work. It really changes how we evaluate people. TV commercials, for example, use athletes, singers, chefs, chess players even, to sell them as images. It sends this message that no matter what your career is, you can always be used to entertain. This has especially freed politicians from actually having to do politics, which I think is kind of scary. Now they can attend comedy skits or commercials or even gaming live streams. They have become more like celebrities rather than educated leaders. Their appearance and vibe become much more influential in their election results than their actual policies. I feel like most people, at least...
Yeah, and I mean, I agree that is really scary. But I don't know how to combat that, right? I don't know what to do about that. I think people just really like visuals. Even me, who's not really a visual thinker, like I have difficulties thinking visually, and yet, oh wait, 1 second, I still have well, I still got blowfish's Twitch link on, but I think we can leave it here. He's been here for a good amount.
Generation and younger know Joe Biden best by memes of him slipping up, both physically and verbally.
How would you say your mental focus is?
Oh, it's focused. I haven't, look, I have trouble even saying to myself my own head the number of years. I no more think of myself as being as old as I am than fly. I mean, it's just not, I haven't observed anything in terms of, there's not things I don't do now that I did before, whether it's physical or mental or anything else.
Or they know Canada's Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, as the zaddy of world leaders. Richard Nixon, a past president of the US, once claimed he lost an election because his makeup crew messed up. Then he told his competitor that if he really wanted to run for presidency, he should, quote, lose 20 pounds. News sites like Daily Mail, Cosmopolitan, Refinery29, and Entertainment Tonight make the lives and drama of celebrities serious cultural content. Like, oh my god, you don't know the year Kim Kardashian's sex tape was released? Are you even American? I can't believe you didn't know.
I do not know the year Kim Kardashian's sex tape was released, but I'm also not American, so I guess I'm fine.
Headley got sent to jail. Are you even Canadian? I really hope other Canadians got that reference. Please comment if you did. Quote, the circle begins to close. Both the form and content of news become entertainment. Harry Frankfurt came up with a concept called bullshit speech acts, which is when a speaker doesn't care about whether what they say is true or false. And I think this happens all the time now. Oh my god, Miley Cyrus wrote flowers about Jennifer Lawrence because
So you're a fucking liar then. Fuck you.
Jennifer Lawrence had an affair with Liam Hemsworth when they were filming Hunger Games together. These kinds of statements are passed along because they're fun to say, but how much is when a speaker doesn't care about whether what they say is true or false. And I think this happens all the time now. Oh my god, Miley Cyrus wrote flowers about Jennifer Lawrence because Jennifer Lawrence had an affair with Liam Hemsworth when they were filming Hunger Games together. These kinds of statements are passed along because they're fun to say, but how much do we actually care about their truth? The goal is to entertain people with this serious cultural news, not to tell them exactly what happens. At least with a lie, it implies that the speaker knows and recognizes the truth as important, which is why they know they need to swerve around it. But for the bullshit speaker, they're like, I can maybe lie for fun, maybe I'm telling the truth, but let me just have fun. I promise you'll get the best customer service of your life. But I don't actually care if you do. Maybe you do get the best customer service of your life, but I'm just speaking to speak. See, dictators only need censorship when they feel that the people know and care about the difference between serious news and entertainment. Quote, how delighted would be all the kings, czars, and Führers of the past to know that censorship is not a necessity when all political discourse takes the form of a jest. Sorry for not posting a video last month, but here I am, back again. If you liked this video or like you thought it was
yeah. I wish she had summarized her point at the end, because I think her point is just attention spans shorten, and the media we consume and the media that's popular encourages that. I think that's her point, but I'm not 100% right now. Maybe that's to do with the fact that we took 2 hours to watch a 30-minute video. Yeah. I really liked the video. I thought it was interesting. I thought it had a lot to say that ring true to me. Again, some nitpicks, but mostly she's good. Yeah. Let's finish this.
Or you didn't hate it, you can like and comment and subscribe or whatever you're feeling today. Thanks to Nebula once again. You can check out the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Let's keep talking, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye! And now I need to read my Patreon. Special thanks to all my Patreons who support this channel: Luis Gomez, Yu Blue, Yu Yanxu, Olav, Jack Repka, Amelia Rose, Minimal Encounter,
I think we can stop here. Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was interesting, yeah. I'll definitely look into her, watch more of what she did. Yeah. I was thinking about covering another video, but it's already 9 p.m. and we already streamed for fucking 2 hours, so I think we're good here. Yeah, thank you so much, Mushroom Lady, for sending me the video. It was really interesting. If you ever have anything else you think I might be interested in, just send it my way. You already gotta sleep? When do you have to go? Well, anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I could distract you, or we could distract you of that for a bit. Hope you're getting better soon. Yeah, I just wanted to say something, but I'll say it to you in private. Yeah. Thank you for everyone who was here and was watching. Thank you again to Blowfish for being here. I'll post his link real quick. Yeah, you too. Come on. Twitch, don't be a bitch. Okay, here's his link. There we go. Here's the link of the video as well. I don't want to be an asshole. Yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for being here. I think this will be the first stream I'll upload to my YouTube. Yeah, goodbye, have a nice night, and get better soon, Mushroom.